every time. Well, then this guy intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. Why am I saying prosecutor? I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive that machine to plunge the knife in again and again. That was one stab wound. Victim was summoned from the police department into the prosecutor's office. This sounds a lot like premeditation, doesn't it? If I order the pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy? In any case, the defense may now cross-examine the witness. It's not just one knife stab. Say again and again. Objection! You say that she stabbed him again and again, but you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moth surprise. Afraid the moth is growing under our feet as we wait, Miss Star. What do you mean? You didn't have to explain this. But take a look. Autopsy report states that death was due to the loss of blood from one stab wound. You're right, good show, Mr. Edward. What a hunk. My hero, really. About my objection, no witness. No witness. Left the crime scene set, right? Oh, thanks. I would believe that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood. But now I realize that such mistakes are possible. So, you're saying you mistook something? Is that right? When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood on her breast. Splattered blood from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice. She wear the same outfit though. It's clean. And tell us what you saw that you thought it was blood, testify. Open spot looking extra fly. Red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was. I didn't mean to, sure wick burns at the fastest is a scientific fact. I wonder, wouldn't it depend on the size of the candle? I mean, add more wax and eventually a really short wick burn longer. Obviously, more scientific testing is required. No, stop that. I thought they added that dialogue to the entirety of the, testimony. Miss Star, I demand an explanation. Witness is clearly not suited for detective work. What? The suspect was not wearing any scarf or muffler or of any kind when she stabbed the victim, and you proved it yourself. With this photograph. Huh? What, that? Ah, she's dying. Only a professional lunch lady could be so utterly clueless. Congratulations, perhaps you finally found your true calling in life. Harsh words, but good. BM Mr. Edgeworth prevails. What was my objection? Chopped liver? But it was there. A scarf. No, not that. But something red. Really. Well now, where were we? The witness had given us an entertaining interlude, but back to business. What? Very well, witness. Continue your testimony. Saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that. Very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least. Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony. Most important part? Part where your sister stabbed the victim. That testimony might just be the moment of truth. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind the partition, off to her side. Quickly caught her, then explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. Ah yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in the earlier testimony. Chief prosecutor made to escape, but again, Angel Star resistance is futile. But against Angel Star, resistance is futile. You're quite determined about this scarf, aren't you? Strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Star. Wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, cobra is a kind of snake. Don't bother me with details unless you want to get bitten. No thanks. Note to self, Mr. Wright is weak against poisonous snake bites. The prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. Knocked my hands aside and kicked over an oil drum. An oil drum. Hard to imagine. She's beautiful but deadly. Predator, this one. A leopard, a woman, row. Very well. You just meow or you just roared in court? Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you will. I will cross-examine. I'll press because I know what I'm doing yet. Nothing stood out to me. Where is this partition on the floor plans? Sure she means this wall next to the car. That's right. There was a wall there about 6 feet high. Obviously trying to hide herself. Quite a natural thing for the criminal to do. And what did you do then? Called her, explained her rights, and arrested her on the spot. It was a phone call that was made though. So quickly, were you close to the suspect? As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from it the whole time. There was a divider there, but absolutely pressure. Let's see this on the floor plan just to be safe. Let's land. Car was. She was in the visitor, thus she was a visitor. Thus she was parked in B block. So you witnessed the murder from here? That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes? Is that correct, Miss Star? Yes, that's right. But there was a chain link fence in front of you. I went over it, of course. No, you did not. It rose to the ceiling. Cough up Queen Lunch Lady athlete indeed. Would have taken her a little time to climb over the fence. Couldn't have gotten to my sister that fast. It did not go to the ceiling, my bad. If he'd had to, so had a misguide not get away. Mention the muffler. What exactly did she say? If I remember exactly, I would have told you in my testimony. Cheeky. Anyway, all I heard of her say was the word muffler. Just that one word. So, what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but to someone else. Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on her phone. Her phone? She can't mean. Ask further. By phone, do you mean the cell phone discovered at the crime scene? Yes, ultimately. Ultimately? On memory? Like a salmon, heading upstream, you see. And no, the court doesn't see, Miss Star. Chief prosecutor first intended to use the phone hanging on the wall. Oh, on the wall. That's right. In the car, there was an emergency phone on the wall. Apparently it was out of order. And so she used her cell phone? Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day. Wanted to use the cell phone to begin with. Good witnessing and witness. Good witnessing. Whatever happened to a good testifying? She, of course, add that to your testimony. Thing I do to please the rookie defense attorney. Word muffler was overheard during a call made to the Emma at 518. Emma said she heard nothing, but you know. She tried the phone on the wall, but had to use her cell phone instead. Do you think you could restate your testimony to the court? That's the same thing. I only say this to one time, so listen close, rookies. Chief prosecutor stabbed the victim and ran behind the partition. Picked up the emergency phone on the wall, but it was out of order. She pulled her own cell phone out of her pocket. I love how she landed on the hood of the Mustang. Just to like rub one in. And during that time, you climbed over the chain link fence. And when I boldly grabbed your arm, Chief prosecutor hung up her phone. And you saw her doing this? What is it, Mr. Wright? Chief prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel Star resistance is futile. Made to escape? Can you be more specific? She brushed aside my hand and ran. It was a terrible sight to see, like a dollop of lard on a pate of foie gras. Huh? Even kicked over an oil drum at me. An oil drum. There was an oil drum lying on the side of the scene of the crime. But it's strange. What's that? If she wanted to escape, why didn't she run the other way? The other, parking lot entrance. That's right. It doesn't make any sense that she would run from behind the partition to the oil drums. Excellent. More mysteries. Could solve a few before finding out more, though. This guy tried to run. Or my sister's suspicious, Mr. Wright? Not as sorry as I am. She didn't do it yet to believe me. So after the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind the partition of her side, quickly caught her, explained her rights, and restored the spot. The muffler. Tried a phone on the wall, but had to use cell instead. Alright, I mean the phone got updated, but like what do you do there? Yeah, I get it. I did press everything, right? I think. I didn't mean to press that, I meant to do it. Press her on the spot. I mean, this dialogue was added. Were both these added? This was added and the other one was added too. Okay. So I can only imagine it's based off that last one. What do I have that I could infer or contradict with the last statement she had? I still love hopping on the hood of this car on the way down. Yeah. I have no idea. I did this already. I think I saved it. But she still made the phone call, but I mean... I really have no idea. We beef it. I'm gonna press again, because I think I might have missed something. Partition the floor plan, yeah. Hiding. Explained her rights and arrested her. Climbed over the fence. I don't gotta press her again. Muffler. Someone else. Looking at our phone. Yes, we're aware who it was too. Do you think you could restate your testimony? Yeah. The bunny hop off the car. We didn't find the phone there, though, is the thing. Okay, I'm done. Miss Starr, I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Ms. Sky. Witness is a former detective. Testimony is unmarred by personal bias. Well, who would have thought you would be my knight in shining armor prosecutor? You who, together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago. Miss Starr, fatal contradiction with your testimony. How did you explain this? I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me. I'll make you cough it all up. Ahem, let's look at the floor plans. Did you witness the crime from this point? However, if that's true, you can only possibly have seen Miss Sky making the phone call. You can possibly have seen Miss Sky making the phone call. I believe you see what I'm getting at. Emergency phone was on the back side of this partition. Indeed, you were in B block. You couldn't have seen it. Order. What is the meaning of this? It's simple, Your Honor. Not coughing up lunch. Coughing up lies. Grr. Objection. What a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me to a question. Tell us exactly what lie this witness has told to the court. When the counter-attack begins, I can't afford to get this wrong. What has lied about? Where she saw it. This guy tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is significant about that fact? Nothing. Therefore, it would be pointless for Miss Starr to lie about it. Pointless to lie? I see. But say the witness did actually see Miss Sky using the emergency phone. It would mean Miss Starr witnessed the crime from a different location. Different location? That's a pointless lie if I ever heard one. Before you call my lie pointless, please let me tell it. There's a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Where was the witness when she saw the crime? We've heard until now, all the testimony that we've heard until now points to one direction. The place from where Miss Starr witnessed the crime was here. This is the only place where she could have been. Security guard room. Indeed, the security room in the underground parking lot is well positioned. Built on the second floor, I can see the entire lot. She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There are many other places where she could have seen the phone. No, in this case, Your Honor, the witness is not being part of the prosecutor's office couldn't park in A block. The only place where she could have seen the crime in the back of the partition is here. Remember in your testimony you said you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security room guard room, right? Yeah. Well, Miss Starr, how many years have I been getting this better of men? How many years have I been getting the better of men? Do you think that the tables could be turned? Today a man has got the better of Angel Star. Order. Witness. What have you done? You used to be a detective. You should know better. Not turning back. The guilty will be punished. And I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails. The guilty. Talking about Miss Sky. Mr. Wright, doesn't this strike you as odd? What a Miss Starr lie. It doesn't make sense. Huh? She could have just said she saw the crime from the security guard station. Wouldn't change anything. Exactly. Photograph tells all. Photograph tells all it was the defendant who stabbed the victim. Which is behind the chain link fence, so it was, you know. Truth still stands. Still stands. I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth. What? The witness is found to be lying. They're guilty of perjury. She knows this. Wouldn't risk that without good reason. Tell us the reason, Mr. Wright. Huh? Who else? Mr. Wright. Let's review what we know. Star witnessed the crime from the security guard station. She lied and said she saw it on B block. It must make a vital difference, but what? What would change? Why the angle at which she saw the crime occur would change? The angle? What do you mean? Well, security guard station is on the second floor, and have a view, sort of a more 3D view of the crime scene. This is important why. I keep thinking that the security guard floor is on the first floor, not second floor. That's just me being dumb. Literally, I was like, oh, they can't even see the crime. Changes the distance between her and the crime scene. My condolences, Mr. Wright, but one look at the floor plans and it's quite clear. Distance between the scene of the crime and the guard station is exactly 30 feet. I don't see how much she could, I don't see what kind of changed. What she saw is not in question here. What matters is the time it would take her to reach the scene of the crime. Miss Starr, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to go from there? The scene of the crime where you rested in the sky? 3 minutes. Well, witness, you. Yes. Squid wheels? Quality of my lunches have gone from loaded and edible. Bringing a PB&J sandwich, lunch with fresh bosenberry and my boyfriend. Bosenberry for the boyfriend. He wasn't in the station, so I waited. Witnessed the crime from the glass-walled station. A door was locked. I know what I was doing. I found myself running towards the scene, but the door was locked. I couldn't open it. Alright. That's why I had to go through the visitors parking lot in B block. Quite a detour. Probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime. The 5 minutes? That's a huge detour. For 3 hallways? 2 hallways? Changes things considerably. But it was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed him. I know it. I have photographic evidence. I swear it. I swear on my finest plastic spork. You have a point, and the spork is a wonderful invention. Would you like another caviar lunch? Absolutely. Uh-oh. Mr. Wright, you have to do something? Do we have any evidence to stop this? Oh, absolutely. Not. 5 minutes between the witnessing of the murder and the arrest. Think about it. You couldn't make pasta in that amount of time. You like it al dente. Have lunchboxes that tie pasta into knots, rookie. A 5-minute blank. Isn't that strange? Strange. If you were a criminal, what would you do with the 5 minutes, Your Honor? Well, I guess I'd flee the scene. I don't get the wrong idea. I didn't kill anyone. But you have the instincts of a killer. You would run. But this time was different. Miss Guy had dawdled at the scene of the crime. She even had her picture taken. No true criminal would act this way. It's inconceivable. Yarg. Well then, seems to have come to the end of this testimony. The witness has a grudge against the defendant and blanket her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth and the next witness is the next witness ready to go. Fortunately, I appear to have overestimated their witness on account of her professional history. We did it. We screwed that can shut, Mr. Wright. That was too close. I'm afraid that the cough-up queen has been dethroned. And with that, court is adjourned. Hold it! Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right? The one you tried to foist off on me. Prefer to not take the defendant's team's leftovers. Anything else to say? I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence. What was that? It's another one of those, her tricks lunchboxes? My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask you for you, Miss Starr. Ah? Is this your jumbo lunchbox? Woohoo, a triple-decker. Out of the defense, difference to the witness's determination, I'll allow one more testimony. Let's hear about this decisive evidence. Like the Lunchland motto says, you won't be disappointed. What's she going to pull out of her lunchbox this time? Should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. And now to the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? 2 types of blood were found in the shoe. One was, of course, the victim's. Other blood type matched that of the defendant, Miss Lana Sky. The shoe proves it. This flawless decisive evidence. Right? There was blood found in the shoe. By lunch then, for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence? Simple, as I've already said. I only trust you with the evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself. And you have blood tests performed? Didn't I mention? I have 3 boyfriends in forensics. In any case, Your Honor, can't accept this as evidence. What? You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, the shoe is legal evidence, at least for the time being. Is that right, Mr. Wright? Seems so. Edgeworth sure is celebrating. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't forget, I used to be a detective. As I mentioned previously, this shoe has already been tested by a member of the forensics department. As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. You and the general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Ugh. Is that right, Mr. Wright? Seems so. Edgeworth is looking pretty sullen. You could at least study some evidence law, really. Prosecution's complaints notwithstanding, appears that this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. However, it seems you have yet another court account against you, witness. Anything to ensure that the guilty are properly judged. White enamel shoe bears traces of blood from Goodman and Lena Sky. Very well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. I will press. Why did you lie about those 5 minutes? I guess you could say I just wanted people to look at the results. The results? How many times do I have to say this? I saw the chief prosecutor stab the victim before my very own eyes. Compared to that, a 5-minute blank means nothing. Why didn't you just tell the truth? Don't make me laugh. We're dealing with the most untrustworthy of all the vile lot known to prosecutors. Falsified evidence, arranged testimonies, erasing the manipulating evidence. When you fight monsters, you need to use every trick in the book. When the suspect is admitting she did it. A false testimony in the most despicable crime of all, Miss Starr. Let's just get this over with. And you found this shoe at the scene of the crime? I detained the chief prosecutor, notified the police department. I wanted to make myself useful while I was waiting for the police to arrive. So like an ill-trained pooch, you snuck off with the shoe. I was afraid someone would erase the chief prosecutor's crime. She was my secret weapon if this that ever should happen. This fashionable basket I have here. Here's more than lunchboxes, gentlemen. I have it for you and your lunchbox bag, really? In case you remove valuable evidence from the scene of the crime. And tell us what you did next. So you brought it to the forensics department? If you're going to submit something to evidence in court, you need it approved. To do that, the evidence must be analyzed by a forensics expert. She got away with her little because she used to be a detective. The shoe does appear to have bloodstains on it. Well, the man was stabbed after all. And that blood belonged to the victim, Detective Goodman. As I said, there were 2 types of blood found in the shoe. You can't say for sure the blood belonged to the defendant with a blood test. You claim to know something about blood tests, rookie? Well, speak up. Oh well, blood comes from 4 types A, B, O, and AB. However, you can't tell from a blood test whether a murder was committed in cold blood. That's just a figure of speech, Mr. Wright. Actually, we can differentiate between millions of types with all the blood tests out there. Which means that we can more or less narrow any sample of blood down to just 1 person. So I hear. It's pretty specific. If I had a little more time, I would have gotten DNA test results. With this said, there's very little doubt it could be anyone but Miss Lana Skies. The suspect's blood was found on the victim's shoe. Ties her directly to the death of Detective Goodman. I was afraid he was going to say that. None of this evidence go through without a fight. You ordered the peppered fish guts, right? Some like it hot, Mr. Wright. Some like your client, using enough hot water as to make the whole vat of soup. The Mr. Wright, do you or don't you have a problem with the shoe? A problem? It's critical. Is there a problem with the victim's shoe? Imagining things. Say there is one critical problem with his evidence. A clear contradiction. The gleam in your eyes. You're still young, rookie. I'll give you a peppered fish gut now. You couldn't take the heat, could you? Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. What is the contradictory about the victim's shoe? Shows a problem with the missing evidence. I wonder if you noticed. There's blood on the bottom of this shoe. Don't mess with me, rookie. Or it'll be your blood on the bottom of my shoe. Indeed, there is quite a bit of blood on the bottom of this shoe. Makes sense, the victim was stabbed with a knife. Could possibly be contradictory about the blood on the bottom of the shoe. Problem lies in the footprint. The footprint? No, that the bottom of the victim's shoe is covered in blood. Then, isn't this strange? Aren't any bloody footprints found by the scene of the crime? Also, she's wearing like dark shoes in the picture, but as you can see, there was no traces of any set of such footprints at the scene of the crime. Contradicts your claim about the shoe. The picture only shows part of the floor. There could have been bloody footprints due to unruly dying. And where are they, Mr. Edgeworth? Because we checked the scene and found nothing of the sort. I feel like the picture's from like a different day. Well, witness? What, huh? We're going, Mr. Wright, but it's true that the lack of footprint is a contradiction. But then we have to ask why there wasn't a footprint. Oh, that's true. There has to be a reason why there wasn't a footprint. Think, Mr. Wright. Think. Okay, I don't know why it's not there. There's a good at finding contradictions. What? Hold it. Oh. I see. Now I get it. Get what? Our witness is more devious than I gave her credit for. We were hoodwinked to the very end. But she slipped. There's one vital hint of the truth in her testimony. What are you talking about? Think back to when she told us about apprehending the suspect. Chief Prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. Knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. Oh, she's beautiful, but deadly. I predator, this one. A leopard woman. Rawr. I thought that was strange. Thing for a normally cool-headed chief to do. No kidding. Now, witness, allow me to ask a very simple question. This oil drum, was it empty? Oh, that? Not sure I liked your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth. Though apparently you're not the slowest conveyor belt in the lunchbox factory. Witness, well, was the oil drum empty? Oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor. Was brimming with water. Water? What does that mean? Someone get it, Mr. Wright? Do you want to know the reason she knocked it over and wash over the blood? I'm guessing is what they're hinting at here. I mean, Smith knocked over the oil drum for one reason and one reason alone. To erase the bloodstains when that would become evidence against her. Rog. Ties things up quite nicely. Bloodstains left on the victim's shoes tie her quite clearly to this murder. Then after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum to erase the telltale signs. Why, that's a prosecutor's specialty. Erasing evidence. That reminds me, this guy's right hand was hurt. Didn't she say she cut herself when she stabbed him? That's when. Since just blood got on the shoe. Well, no reason to prolong the trial. Mr. Wright? Do something, please. What? What can I do? The serious confessed to the crime and she tried to conceal it. But, enough. There's no need for further debate. The verdict, Your Honor. Very well, but Angel Star is on the prosecution's side. Could have been lying about the water. Court finds the defendant Miss Honest Guy. Hold it. Little girl. What did you just say? Huh? Me? Did you say that I, Angel Star, was on the prosecution's side? Well, yeah, you are. You're saying my sister hid evidence by erasing the bloody footprints. Well, thought you'd had your fill, but here you are, demanding a second helping. The lunchbox. The lunchbox is called evidence. They fry on baked beans and the corn. And chopped up licorice. Wait, witness? Don't tell me you have something else. Time for the deliberations is past. Any further comments, and you will be held in contempt of court. Your threats don't scare me to cough up. Your threats don't scare the cough up queen. Look at this. Photograph. Had it just in case anyone had the gall to suggest that the white shoe didn't belong to the victim. There's no room for error in this evidence. Mr. Wright, wait. Look at the asphalt in this photo. Okay, it's clearly wet. Raising the last trace of doubt from the court's mind. Immediately after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water. Sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all. Not your fault. I knew I couldn't win this case from the beginning. And this is what your sister wanted anyway. Sorry, Mia. Right, wet or not. Don't be so quick to throw in the towel. Get yourself up off that asphalt. Take another look. Good look. Don't give up. Not until the bitter end. This is the last piece of evidence. Very well. This time I'd like to declare a verdict for good. Objection? Your Honor, wait. What is it with you people? Can I hand down my verdicts in peace anymore? Whatever it is, can it wait? No, it can't. So it'll be too late. Look at this photograph, the last one submitted. This trial is over. It will give each piece of evidence a proper consideration. So, right. You're just saying there's a problem with this latest piece of evidence? Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'll think later. Yeah, there's a problem. Right or wrong, I've got to go ahead with this. Suppose since we come to this far, we should give every claim a fair shake. Very well, Mr. Wright. So the court, the problem with this photograph. Problem is in the photograph is here. What's this? Something poking out of the car's muffler? Wait just a moment, Mr. Edgeworth. Your Honor. You just said the muffler. However, I've seen a trace of a muffler or scarf of any kind in this photograph. A muffler is also part of a car and a motorcycle, Your Honor. Or a motorcycle, excuse me. Think of it as a part of the exhaust system, a pipe. I see, and I see. What's this suspicious looking claw sticking out of the car's muffler? Oh, so what if there is something sticking out of the muffler? What does that have to do with this case? Nothing, absolutely nothing. Objection. Sorry, Miss Starr, but it's not going to be that easy. In fact, you've already told us why this is important to the case. You said as much in your testimony. What? Let's hear what Mr. Wright has on his mind. Tell us whether you think this is a piece of cloth and the muffler is related to the case. Miss Starr, recall your testimony for the court. Ah, yes. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. Muffler. Arg. Yarg. Could it be that the muffler you heard mentioned was actually the exhaust pipe? If so, that means the piece of cloth is vital evidence. Arg. Whoa. Yarg. Well, seems we will have to suspend the proceedings. Suspend. Found myself wondering about that piece of cloth. We leave any unquestioned unanswered here, we do a disservice to the law. Have the car of the crime scene inspected once more and bring me that cloth. Verdict will wait until after we've seen all the evidence. Agreed? I suppose so. Ooh, that was close. But it made it. At least for now. Court will adjourn for a 30-minute recess. Lunchtime after all. You still hungry? To be continued. Mr. Wright? Huh? What? Are trials always like this with you? You're swimming up from the bottom of the lake, about to reach the surface, but no matter how hard you paddle, you never seem to get there. Pretty much. Today we're swimming in quicksand. What happened to your sister anyway? Apparently she got called off to the judge's chambers. Probably something to do with that piece of cloth. So this is where we turn the trial around, right? Our only weapon, a tiny, insignificant piece of cloth. I'm the one who's starting to feel tiny and insignificant, to tell the truth. Hold up, partner. Marshal, they say you showed a red cloth to a bull, it'll fire up his temper. That's what they told me when I was youngin', at least. Officer Marshal. Well, I've come to take a look to see how the trial's going. Looks like I'm late. Got the home range locked down tighter than a fort in enemy territory. Hard to slip out, huh? What's going on over there anyway? All the police have seen them there the last 2 days, but really on the edge. What you got yourself over? You got enough on your plate without worrying about what other people compadre? You'd be worrying about the sheep prosecutor's taste in mufflers, for example. Officer Marshal? The whole muffler thing doesn't really have anything to do with scarves. She wasn't even wearing a scarf. Glug glug. You don't say. No, don't that just beat all? The red breeze blowed her slender neck many times. Saw that day too. Wearing that red muffler. It's the award ceremony that afternoon. Edward's seen it too, I reckon. What does that mean? In the photograph was taken at the crime scene. He wasn't wearing a scarf. So, the star wasn't mistaken. Well, it's about time. Remember, partner, sometimes you gotta grab the bull by the horns. Sometimes you just gotta let the bull go where it will. Time will tell. Bad feeling about this? So what are we swimming in now, Mr. Wright? If it's steak sauce, I can hook you up with some fine ribs. Oh, we. I'd like to resume. What's up? The judge keeps looking over at the prosecution. Something wrong, Mr. Edgeworth? Your face is blue, your lips are purple, you're sweating bullets. Furrowed brow, those grinding teeth, those watery eyes. What's more, with your eyes are unfocused, you're doubled over, your back is bent. It can't be. This can't happen. I wonder what happened to Mr. Edgeworth. Well then, I believe it's time we continued on with the trial. During our recess, I had requested that the prosecution conduct an investigation. This is unacceptable. Seems our prosecutor is quite beside himself. Or excuse me. Knock knock. Who's there? For this guy? Strange stuffy aura seems to be filling this courtroom. Hey, temperature rose 5.7 degrees when that man came in. Who on earth is he? Lucifer himself. Ah, it's you. Okay. Oh, hey. Sorry I'm late. Ajigi, the rooms were packed. It's just me. Long time no see, Ajigi. How you been? So, swim much these days? Hello. Oh, I've been very busy. Busy shimmy. Ajigi, my boy, you have to take time to relax. Yes, indeed. Ajigi seems to be his nickname for the judge. Afraid you're right. Very afraid. I'm sorry, but who are you? Ah, so you're Righto, the attorney. I've heard good things about you, son. Hey, thanks. Sorry about a little worthy giving you, all the trouble, eh? No, we should all be swimming together sometime. Jolly. Little worthy? Mr. Wright, you don't know the district chief of police? Chief of police. Top-ranking police officer in the entire district. The blinks. Name's Gant. Damon Grant. Damon Gant. Pleased to meet you, everyone. To what do we owe this honor today? It's been over 2 years since you last came to this courtroom, hasn't it? Well, it's worthy here. Look at the poor fellow. Just thought I'd help out by bringing this. Hey, that's just muffler. The Star wasn't just seeing things. Crime occurred and this guy really was wearing that muffler. Don't you think that it was stuffed in the exhaust pipe? No Worthy's car, no less. It's really quite embarrassing, even for us. What's this? What do you call a switchblade knife? Why perplexing this? Chief, what kind of outfit are you running? Mr. Edgeworth, how could they miss such a vital piece of evidence? Investigators are this lax. How do you expect us to do our job? Now wait a minute, Worthy. No desire to hear your excuses, telling you to wait. Or didn't you hear me? Look at this document. It says person in charge of investigation. No mistaking that signature is there. Miles Edgeworth. That's not fair. On the day of the crime, I had. You had head in the clouds because you got the award. I know how you feel. But you're the person in charge. I'll expect a written apology. What? Are you serious? Don't be too upset. We'll find a way to clean up this mess that you made. This is the first time I've seen Mr. Edgeworth at a loss for words. I'm a major blunder isn't like you, Mr. Edgeworth. Get out of the court, accept this new evidence. But I'd like to ask the defense a favor first. Yes? Just to be sure. I'd like you to take a look at the blade of this knife. The blade, Your Honor? Well, let's see what I do. Could you open it up for me, I wonder? Yes, well. If I cut my finger, Mr. Wright, I wouldn't be able to pound my gavel anymore. Yeah, but if I cut my finger, I wouldn't be able to point my at people anymore. Come on, just hurry up and open it. I would have gone on that, but it's the game doing it, not me. Small tag on the knife. Seems to say SL92. What does that mean? Well, I've heard something similar. It's the thing written in the dude's pocket. The L6 or the L6 is the name, maybe not. But it's strange. Huh? What is this? I'm not certain. I had a feeling I've seen this somewhere before. Like this, or does it look somehow like this somehow? Wow, don't scare me like that. Everyone who's scared. Look at this knife blade. The tip is broken off. This dark red stain. Blood? Knife added to the court record. Does not excuse the actions of the police department. I would like to hear an explanation from the chief of police himself. Terribly sorry, but can I ask you to testify for us? The split between the prosecutors and the police. And this knife. Sure. Sure thing, no, not a problem. Even for, not even a little one, really. This knife is special, but I can't say how. Here. Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between the knife and the Goodman. Bad day for the department, we weren't in any shape to do an investigation. Detective was killed at the police department. See, what a mesh. Time of the crime, 5:15. Scary coincidence, eh? Not officially linked to the here case, but I can't talk much about it. There was a murder at the police department, detective? That's the hush-hush information, Aji. We haven't exactly announced it yet. You said 5:15. At the time that Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. Order, order, order. Anyway, we at the department were all flustered, as you might well assume. In the middle of a top-secret investigation. Don't tell anyone, okay? And we understand the police department's situation. Well, Mr. Wright? Two detectives killed at the same time in two different places. Chances of that are really slim, scientifically speaking, of course. I'd like to exercise my right to cross-examine the witness. Very well, however, keep your questions focused on the case at hand. Excuse me? Special? Hard to come by this particular knife anywhere else. Maybe that special thing? This little tag? Oh, sorry, Righto, but I can't say for now, not that. Doubtless that the knife in Goodman's chest was this knife. No way that another knife at the scene. Why is there another knife at the scene of the crime? What a mystery. The mystery is wrapped in something. A muffler. This knife was found on the scene of the crime. And that makes it connected to the case, don't you? There's a lot of things that go on in the department that I can't explain. It's delicate, okay? Sorry, Righto. Maybe there's something about the knife that will give us a clue. Send the knife while we can, Righto. How were things down in the department? Something that happened in the police department too, huh? You get a good look in your eye there, Righto, my boy. Sharp, hungry. So something did happen. Why wasn't I informed? Why weren't you informed? Well, you didn't ask. No matter, I understand. You were busy with the case and all. Well, what happened? What happened in the police department that day? Same day the detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot. Another detective was killed at the police department. That's the fact. Surprising. Isn't it, Ugly? I'm at a loss for words. And the perpetrator? Do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact. Just arrested. That was quick. But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you could help, Righto. Suppose I could help if you could help by giving me data on your case. Let's get sharp. Okay, here's the deal. Tell you one thing and one thing only. Well, how was the detective killed? How was he killed? Now that's the interesting part. It might be in the force called as stabbing with a knife. A knife? Exactly the same as Detective Goodman. That's the spirit we're cooking now. But you know, that's not the only thing that was exactly the same. What do you mean? There were more similarities between the two cases than the cause of death? Seems like we're gonna have to press this a bit harder. 5:15. But that's when Detective Goodman was killed in the prosecutor's office. What? Funny, isn't it? A murder at the prosecutor's place, and a murder at a place at the very same time. What are the chances? Coincidence. It's my gut feeling, but I say there's a 0.001 chance of this happening. Chief Gant, please tell us more about the incident. When you say there's no connection? How? Because I'm the chief of police. I can't just say anything I please, Righto. You understand. Try to understand, Righto? Well, if you can prove there's a connection, more power to you. Maybe there's something that ties the two murders together. That knife. What was it doing there? Better check this knife out. I looked at it already, didn't I? Am I insane? Is it not related to that code? Am I insane? I didn't know how the wanted me to do it. Wait a second. Ah, at least an honest to goodness objection. This knife. This has to do with something to do with Detective Goodman dying. What do you mean? Ah, honest to goodness, what do you mean from Udgi? This is great. Look at the tag on this knife. Reads SL92. This is important. Why? Over here, we also have memo with that was on the body of the victim. 67S12 2. 6 minus 7S12 2. Your Honor. It's upside down. Upside. 221. Okay. SL6. Putting the name on the memo makes it look like it's right side up. Turn it around and what do you get? That's all 9, excuse me. February 22nd. That's all 9. Who wrote this note was holding the paper upside down? That's all 9. Same thing that is written in the knife's tag. Order? Well, Chief? Ah, well. Guess the cat's out of the bag. You win, Righto. On this dying, like, wasn't the knife found inside the muffler? But it also committed the murder at the same time? Half an hour across town? So we got put there afterwards? What game is this guy playing? The knife was evidence in the case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. So this knife was stolen. On the day of the murder. Evidence, you say? Was in fact a murder weapon. Nice. Good show, little worthy. It was a murder weapon as it seems. It was evidence from a case long since solved. This knife was stolen on the day of the murder. And it was found in the exhaust pipe of Edward's car. Hard to think there isn't a connection there. Something happened on the police department too, huh? Got a good look in your eyes there, Righto, my boy. Sharp hunger. I heard this, right? Yeah, we heard this already. It's like, how could the knife be there? So I'm trying to, do I just present the knife? Yeah, that's wrong. I mean, that's a new piece of information we got. We gotta figure out how to tie that page to something else. This is saved me from a heartbreak. I don't think we got anything from the other press besides just the thing being upside down, that's all. Does that relate? That E badge. Does not relate. It has to be this. We just got. We've put together that this is upside down. So I would feel weird if we didn't relate something here. Did that already. So it's not this page. I just don't see why we deducted that this was upside down when it doesn't do anything. I don't have a way to like compare things together, do I? I believe. It's not the phone again. I really don't know. I checked the knife out already. Am I insane? There's no connection. How? Because I'm the chief of the police. We found it. Am I dumb? They have the same stinking thing. I don't know what you want from me. I'm there, the murder. A murder weapon. Nice, nice, nice. Good show, yes. I've done all these right, so like I don't really see. I'm dying. I'm really dying here. I feel like I've done everything. Did I need to inspect the... I re-inspected it, didn't I? Hold on. If you look through the court record, you'll see a note found with the victim that says 67S on it. However, if you read it upside down, you find it says SL9. Same as the tag on the switchblade knife. There's a connection between the knife and Goodman. Present Goodman's note and Grant's second statement. Goodman's note will be updated, turned upside down. Court record. Grant adds this testimony. I did that already. I don't see that in testimony. But I already presented this to everything, so... If you press on this statement, this is not required. You'll find out the knife was stolen from the on the day of the murder. It happens to be the murder weapon from the case long stalled. Repress it? I doubt that's a thing. Yeah. Case long solved. Press his fourth statement, third on the switch. PS4 and Xbox trilogy. On the same day that the detective was killed in the parking spot, the detective was killed at the police department. Yes, we went over this. Where was the victim found? Maybe I chose the wrong one here? It says to do that, this option, the guide. Well, I can't speak on where the corpse was found, but I can say the crime took place in the evidence room at the police department. The evidence room. I've heard of that. Evidence room, didn't he mention that in testimony just now? There was evidence in the case, it was stolen from the department's evidence room. There's the connection between the two cases. I didn't know I could repress that option. I'm telling you one thing. Alright, close this. I don't need this open anymore. And we just gotta handle a ticket to the, go to town on this case. With a link between the two cases established, we finally have some leverage. Now we can get, Gant. Because he said it'll tell us only one thing. It's like, okay. I'm assuming it doesn't matter what we get told here. I guess you can ask him every time if you wanted to. It just makes no sense to me. Gant to testify about the details. Chief, the defense's position is simply this. Connection between these two cases have already been proven. Huh? You don't say. Well, out with it, Righto. What's their connection? Out with it, Mr. Wright. Connection to my place is a place mentioned in the testimony we just heard. The knife was found in the lot. The knife found in the lot was stolen from the police department's evidence room. Not to mention the victims had on them the case number of the knife's evidence tag. We also know that the detective murdered on the police department was killed in this very same evidence room. Indeed, there do seem to be very many connections for it to be a coincidence. You can make a good pair. My men 2 days to figure that out. What you do this right here, Chief? Request you to release your information on the victim at the police department. See, that's the tricky part. It hasn't been announced yet at all. Can we get the information unofficially? Hmm. Sure. Why not? Unofficial after all. What, really? Who would have guessed? Cooperate, but I can't really reveal the name of the victim at the department, okay? I didn't mean to push right again. If you're going to tell us little, why not tell us everything? Well, case information is sticky stuff. You have to do everything properly. Oh well, I guess I might as well try to get him what I can out of him. The ID number? Okay, how about you tell us the victim's ID number? Sure, why not? It's not like you'll be able to tell who it is from that. Of course, you won't tell me their name after all. Type it in ID numbers, so don't go getting your hopes up. Number is 5842189. Well, that's quite long. Way to remember these drives me nuts. 8, 2, I can do it. You didn't even get to the first number right. It does tell me something. It does, I think, meaning. Let's see what I think it is. What does this mean? Whatever the defense has to say, the ID number of the detective who was murdered at the police department tells you something. What does it tell you? It says it right there. I don't do this. It's the same freaking guy, dude. Witness. What is it, Mr. Wright? Reading like a schoolgirl on a prom night. No, it's just I got confused. This is news. Just come out with both guns. You just come out with both guns blazing like you always do. police department, the prosecutor's office. 2 places, 2 detectives murdered at one time. Actually, I happen to have Police ID number here. Oh, is it yours? No, Your Honor. I'm a defense attorney, remember? This is the ID number of our victim, Detective Goodman. Shame on you, Righto. Personal IDs are top secret. Detective Goodman's ID number is 5842189. And what exactly? Wait, the ID number we heard from the chief earlier started with 82. I forgot. You didn't even get the first number right again. Number the chief of the police gave us was 5842189. Wait a second, right? What does this mean? I want to know. 2 ID numbers are identical. In other words, the detective killed in the police department evidence for it was Goodman. What does our witness think about that? Oh ho ho. Sharp as a tack, Righto, sharp as a tack. But wait, Detective Goodman is our victim. Killed at 5:15 in the underground parking lot. Yeah, the detective, Bruce Goodman, was also killed at the police department. In the evidence room at the exact same time. That's impossible. So what we're saying is, the same person was killed at the same time? And in a completely different location? Order, order, order. Chief, what does this mean? No. I want to know is why didn't I hear about this? Top secret, fine. I'm the prosecutor in charge of the case. Now just wait a second, Worthy. I need to get all flustered. Your Honor, the police department has made a grave error in this case. Wait. I said wait. Or didn't you hear me? You recite the grave error? Mr. Edgeworth? They're yours. Alright. How dare you? We informed you yesterday. I believe it was our Officer Meekins who brought you the news. Officer Meekins. Mr. Wright, where have we heard that name before? Wait, Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth anywhere in the premises? I'm here, sir. The request of the chief, sir. I got your report, sir. You don't mean him? According to Meekins, you didn't accept the report. Hard to believe. But your officer, he told me that the report had nothing to do with the Lana Sky incident. That Bruce could have been murdered at the police department evidence room. Mr. Edgeworth, the victim's name was written right on the top of the report. God. Why didn't your officer tell me? Honestly, I'm not sure if the officer was capable of making the connection. This theme challenged. In any case, this is a serious error of gross negligence, a duty on your part worthy. But sir, you could have submitted the report this morning to the court as evidence. Then I... No such luck this time, worthy, or should I say unworthy? What? Now, what was the second rule of evidence law? Well, Mr. Wright? Huh? Oh, well, it's, Rule 2, unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case of the trial. And now is this rule relevant? Normally, you submit a list of evidence to be used in the court before trial. This report wasn't on that list. So, what does this mean? You couldn't submit this evidence till a connection was proven in court. Connection was just proven by Righto over there. Good job, Righto, my boy. Huh? I'm just doing my job. No. No. Seems we come to the end of the trial. Now you're going through a tough time, Worthy. With all those rumors, you were even defendant's chair just this past December. I apologize for this terrible lack of due diligence on my part. Mr. Edgeworth, please, give me one day. I'll get to the bottom of this, what happened, and it's the last thing I do. Better get results this time, really. You have my profound apologies, sir. For Mr. Edgeworth. I don't think there has ever been an error this serious in the history of this court. One further day of the prosecution has requested. Will this be sufficient, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Whatever your punishment for this is, for your sake I hope is not decisive. Very well, court is adjourned. Oh my god. To be continued. I'm gonna walk away for a minute. See if I can save it. Okay, well, save here for me. I'll be right back.